Welcome to Less Than Ideal 20s with your hosts, Caitlin and Alexis. On Less Than Ideal 20s, we chat about life as 20-somethings and try to figure shit out along the way. Before we jump in, I just wanted to mention that if you would like to become a supporter for our podcast, you can head to anchor.fm/lessthanIdeal20s and click the support button. Thank you for all your kind support thus far. Today, we are talking about social media and how it affects our lives every day, both positively and negatively. So, Caitlin, how does your relationship look like with social media?
I think it's just really funny that my plan was to just say how I feel about it.
Yeah.
It's that I hate it. But it is my life. It is what I do. I create and I express myself on social media through social media. And so it's mixed feelings. So right now, I mean, for the longest time now, I have not had notifications on for any social media. But when life was not quarantine, I would always have Do Not Disturb on.
Yeah.
I don't like getting any notifications, anything like that. I try to just do work on there. So I kind of just use it as work. Again, I love work though. So again, that's why it's confusing. But even if I'm not on social media, I'm creating work that goes there.
Yeah.
So it's a big part of my life. And I do use it sometimes a tiny distraction, or as a bad habit. When, just small things like checking growth on anything, such as this amazing podcast of ours, or my YouTube, or my art, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Checking growth at all is just bad. Yes, check your growth, but I think there's a level where it's too much.
Oh, yeah.
And it's obsessive. So there's that. And then there's also just me feeling really uncultured on the lighter side of things. I used to have a Twitter when I was younger in high school. Stopped using it, which I'll talk about later. But I only recently got it again because my boyfriend is super pop culture. He knows everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So using Twitter, I literally just use Twitter. He just sends me things through there, and I'll occasionally go through it. So. And it's just a cool way to connect with artists and other illustrators and stuff like that. Music-wise, anything. So, yeah. What about you? What's your relationship look like with social media?
Oh, gosh. I mean, again, it's so much easier to look at the negative, obviously. But it is when I look at social media, obviously, I think of it as a place that I get to connect with people. And I get to see what they do every single day, literally. Social media, people
Literally.
are on it at all times. And the things that I think about in my relationship with it is that I used to have this thing where I would compare my life, my body, and my relationship, everything, to people that I, quote unquote, looked up to in social media, which is not what you should be doing. And I had to learn that the hard way. And the way that I learned that was actually, I think it was back when Alexis Ren was with what's that one dude? That the guy with the fucking hair. What's his name? The nice hair, the curls. I forget his name. But I really looked up to that perfect relationship, and they ended up breaking up. And there was this whole thing that exposed, I forget, one of their friends made a video and exposed their real relationship and had receipts and all this shit. And I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, these are people that I wanted to be like. And in reality, their relationship is as toxic as could be. And you don't get to see any of that because all you saw on social media was that perfect beach, beautiful life. We love each other all the time. And yeah, but it was crazy to see that. And that was my realization that I can't compare anymore. You should not compare. But social media makes that so hard. So yeah, and just realizing that people, what they post on social media is just a second life, ideally. It's just a second of their life. It's not the entire thing. Even for things that I post, what if I post a video on there or something? It's just a few seconds of my life. I might be having the worst day of my life, but I'll post something and it looks like I'm having a great day. But that's another thing. I had to come to that realization, and I went on the quote unquote unfollowing spree of people, and telling myself, like, you see what you want to see on social media, and you need to, like, unfollow people that isn't healthily impacting your life, because I'm constantly looking at it and comparing and wanting to be somebody that I'm not. And that's not realistic. So I unfollowed, like, a lot of people that I was just realizing that I was comparing my life to. And I guess I had to pretty much rework my view of social media after that.
Yeah.
So
before you did the unfollow spree, your relationship was like, it was not like your idol, or it was like your point of reference?
Yes. Yeah. And so I just looked up to them because I wanted to, it sounds so cheesy, like, aesthetically pleasing of in a relationship was that couple, right? And I was also at that point in time when they were a couple, I guess, was when I was going through my really shitty, terrible relationship. Yeah. And so, again, like, I was in this shitty relationship, and lo and behold, the people I'm looking up to isn't in a good relationship either.
Yeah.
So, crazy to put everything into retrospect, but that is how it was. And
yeah. I think I've unfollowed a couple people too because of that same situation. And I even had, like, there was an influencer I was following, and she was like, yeah, like, if you feel like my content isn't, like, inspiring you, like, my intention is to inspire you and all these things. If it's not doing that for you, like, unfollow me.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
yeah.
And yeah, I just, like, definitely not something to take, for them to take personally. It's just like, yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really weird. Social media can be a really weird place.
I know.
But we kind of wanted to go into the pros and cons of social media. And, starting off with the cons, I feel like is better, because that way we can end on the pros.
Exactly.
And it's funny because when we were planning this out, I was like, oh, I don't have that much to say. Like, I just don't like it. But, oh, honey, like, I just went in.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much it impacts my life, the way we think about things, on all different levels, all different aspects of life. It's really, really, I mean, I'm excited. I'm interested to see, like, our thoughts on this one.
Yeah.
So,
I know. We're going to really deep dive, I feel like, into this.
Yeah, for sure. It is that deep on this episode of Less Than Ideal 20s. Okay, so recently, try to be a good marketing person and engage and, connect with the community, the podcast community. So I'm just like, let me just, like, spend some time, just looking at different accounts, commenting, and just, like, really seeing, like, reading all the captions and seeing what kind of messages they're bringing out and stuff like that. Following people that I feel like match our, like, goals or just, like, life values, things like that. And then, like I do that for, and I don't even know how long I do it for.
Yeah, I know.
And then you stop, and then, like, I look back on the day, and I'm like, what did I even do today?
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's